You think you cute in your new film gear?
I mean, I'm
That's what you
type
think?
cute. Type cute.
Anyway, I'm Kyrie Terrell.
I'm Dominique Janelle.
Welcome to Flix Flex.
Flex.
We outside. As y'all can see, I got my film gear on. Got the little director joint. Where my film gear up here, my little name.
Gear right here. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I'm gonna get Dom out of here real quick because I don't got this one.
Cute.
I don't have this one with the designs.
You ain't got this?
She got the director chair on. I don't have this one. Dom. Oh, it's something else. Oh, it got something on the back. Oh, okay. All right.
You ain't got.
I ain't got that one.
Oh, dang.
So let me explain something to y'all before we get into the today's topic on Flix Flex. We're talking about professionalism on set on this episode of Flix Flex, and I think it's real unprofessional when you and your partner y'all decide to start a business venture together called Film Gear.
Film gear.
Where y'all decide that it'd be dope to have like stylish stuff that got like an extra pocket for when you on set. Maybe you want to put some cards or something, little papers, whatever there. Yours got a pocket too?
No.
Oh, I thought you had a pocket under
stylish
the boob
over
or something.
here. I'm stylish over here, baby.
But you know what I'm saying? So she just went out and did some arbitrary designs. Didn't consult her partner.
Prototypes. Prototype.
And it's kind of fly, so I'm jealous. You know what I'm saying? But would y'all rock our film gear, especially those that's in the business? Nice little hoodie, got something to keep your hands warm, little compartments. You know what I mean? We still thinking about it. We in the prototype phase. So let us know if y'all would like some film gear. But not productivity. Professionalism. Professionalism.
We talking about professionalism today on film sets. Why? Because it's very important. Why?
It's at an all-time low.
It's at an all-time low.
Not on our sets, though.
No.
Not on Focus Studios sets.
We're
one of them professional sets. You know what I mean? That's not a joke. We really are.
No,
Ask about us. Right. Ask about us. This is important to us.
And just because we're independent filmmakers, independent meaning, we ain't
got no money, is what it means.
That's not true. We got a
little bit of
but independent meaning we're not backed by a big studio, big budget studio.
Right.
We're our own business.
Where you were going with that doesn't mean you don't be professional. Yes.
Just because that money ain't got nothing to do with the professional.
Stay professional. What's your biggest pet peeve, Don? What are people doing out here that's unprofessional on these sets?
Being late.
Talk about it.
Being late, not call time. What's that? Why do I need to show up at that? Call times, scheduling on it. Because that's what I do. I schedule.
Dom is the big scheduler.
So when
she will bite your head off if you try to change her schedule arbitrarily. She will. I know firsthand because I've got my head bit by Dom. Why did you tell me so? I'm sorry, Dom.
Yeah, but but being on time, I think for some reason, like people be on time for everything else in life. I don't like you.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
Right. Because here's what we're going to do on Flix Flex. What we're going to do is we're going to give people who are in the film world, as well as those who are not, the opportunity to learn, right? Yes. Some of what goes behind building and putting together a good production. So we don't just want to say, oh, don't be late. Let's explain to people
exactly
what late means on a film set.
Yes.
Okay? Because you have certain call times.
Yes.
These call times may be because hair,
wardrobe,
makeup. You may be doing a film that has special effect hair, makeup, whatever it might be. Like in some of these films, you know, big budget stuff where they got whole costume makeup and stuff, they call time might be the day before. You know what I'm saying?
Because
it takes so long.
Situations is why, you know.
And every little thing messes with every little thing on a film set.
And I feel like that's the biggest component that people don't really understand is that when you're on a film set, like everyone has their job and everybody's job works together to get the production done. So when I, for example, do a schedule, everything is itemized according to the time to get us through the day because time is money.
Right.
So everything's itemized out and then it's like somebody late, oh, I didn't know I had to be here at a certain time, and they want to show up 30 minutes late. That 30 minutes is significant in the whole grand scheme of the day. And people really don't understand that, or really need to realize that. Like, it's 30 minutes is
it's an eternity on a film set. And it can be the difference between you having to do something the next day, which is so much more money. And here's the thing I wanna proclaim. Where me at? My camera right here. Here's the thing I want to proclaim on Flix Flex right here today. Ain't no more late on Focus Studio sets.
No more late.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening. You will get sent home. Okay, your pay will be docked. If you're an actor or actress on our set and you miss your call time, your pay will be docked. We are going to start documenting it. Okay,
I co-sign it.
And that's and here's the thing: it's with love. It's not like I want to be the big bad wolf. No, it really helps us keep our set moving the way our set is supposed to move. And we know that we're still amateurs in this business, right? I'm 8 projects in myself. Dom is umpteen projects in, because Dom be working all over the place. But I have 8 projects that are mine, and then I have too many to count projects that I've been on, which is where I learned how to be who I am today. I've taken the good, the bad, the ugly from all of the literally hundreds of sets that I've worked on before I started my own. And that's where the professionalism of Focus Studios comes from. So I'm saying that in this regard, right? Hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait is the name of the game on a film set, right? But the reason for that is, and the reason for call times, and the reason for having you prepared before it's actually your time is because on a film set, and here's another thing. If you're not available the whole day, just tell me no.
Just say no.
Just tell me no.
Just say
Need you available the whole day, because that leans into what I'm about to say. Something might happen at another location, which we've had happen.
Yes.
And we say, well, so-and-so's here, this person's here, this person got 10 more minutes left in makeup. It might take us 10 minutes less out of our scene, but we have the ability to go ahead and shoot that later thing now. Right? For whatever reason, different things happen. There might be a something going on with hair or makeup or a prop or whatever it might be, where we can only get it at this time. We have to get it done at this time because we have to send somebody here or we have to move over here. That's what indie is. And when you indie, you don't have the ability to have 3-4 hairdressers.
Right.
You don't have the ability to have the individual trailers and sets and all of these that you can do what you want to do when you need to do it. So we have to move things around. And if you're there and you're available at your call time, it just makes it so much easier for us to roll with the punches that are going to come with filmmaking anyway. Right? So that's why we're going into what will be our 9th project, our 10th project. At that point, though we're indie, the bar for performance from our casts and our crew is just going to be, we don't want no excuses. We don't want no excuses, because we intend to be a super huge, big production house in this industry. We will be that one day.
Yes.
So if you're going to ride that train, you yourself have to embody that.
Yes. No, and I agree with all of that, because filmmaking is a team sport. And as a team sport, everybody plays a part in it. So one component can't work without another.
Exactly.
So you can't be late. You gotta be bought into the job that you say you want to do, that you got hired to do. You gotta be prepared for that job. You gotta be ready and able to do that job. It's just so many pieces to the puzzle that all work together. So something as being, oh, well, I didn't realize I'm 10 minutes late because it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because it could be small, or some people say, well, I'm 10 minutes late and I get here and I'm sitting around for 2 hours anyway. So why did it matter? Well, because you was 10 minutes late, why you ended up sitting around for 2 hours, because we might have to change something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you don't belong in film if you're not going to take it seriously.
You don't belong in film. If that's your mentality, you don't belong in film. Filmmaking is hurry up and wait.
Absolutely.
That's a name of the game.
And that's not just indie film.
That is not just indie.
That's not just indie film.
No, that's filmmaking.
That's
period.
filmmaking. Period. No matter what size the budget is, that is filmmaking. Period.
We need you ready to go. We need you available. Speaking of ready, read y'all call sheets.
Whew.
Like actually read y'all call sheets.
Yeah, call sheets really need to be read. But outside of that, though, before we even get to the call sheets, you can get the call sheets to you. Check your email.
Check your email.
You can't be in a production. You know you hired. You know they're trying to communicate with you, and
you're not looking for the communication.
You're not looking for the communication. It's
if
crazy.
you're on a project, we should hear from you first. Looking for your call sheet. Right?
Yeah.
We should hear from you. And Dom does an amazing job at making sure that things are go out. So, I mean, it's story time.
Okay.
So once upon a time, I was on Judge Mathis. I was on Judge Mathis, right? And it was such a dope experience for someone who wanted to get into producing.
Okay.
Right? So, without giving out too much of Judge Mathis's secrets, they are real cases, right? However, they are very over embellished purposefully. And I never knew that, but I had an agent and I had been contacted to be on Jerry Springer way back then. And they just wanted to basically literally ask me like, well, who you got that'll go along with XYZ story and other. That's what they was doing, right? So long story short, the producer on Judge Mathis, main man will reach out to me probably every other day.
Wow.
Right? To the point where for me, being someone that wanted to go into production and just being the person I am, if I tell you yes, it's yes.
Right.
If I tell you no, it's no. But he kept producing upon me. He kept checking in, making sure I had the story right, making sure I knew where I was coming to, making sure I knew where my flight was, the whole nine, right? So that's the thing. They fly you out, they pay for you to eat, they put you up in a hotel, the whole nine. So he making sure I know when my flight leave, he making sure I know what hotel I'm in. He's making sure that anything that will mean I'm not on the show don't happen.
Right.
So now I tell my team, like, to Dom's point, read your call sheet. But I tell my team, make sure you've contacted this person. Number one, a text ain't enough. A phone call ain't enough. An email ain't enough. Contact is the only thing that's enough.
Right.
Contact meaning this person responded to my text and they said, yes, I received my call sheet. I know where I need to be tomorrow. I'm fine. I'll be there. Right. That's the type of thing that has to be done, because when you're dealing with a large cast, especially, people get lost.
They do.
Somebody can get lost in the sauce because you assume that, well, it's a grown person. I sent them an email. Right. They should have the information. Nah, that's not how it go.
It's definitely not how it go. It's definitely not.
That ain't how it goes. So yes, check your email, grown people. It's a two-way street. If I'm working with you on a project, yes, I should be communicating, but you should be communicating as well.
And outside of checking your email, it would behoove you to people who are first time when it comes to acting to learn how to read a call sheet.
Yes.
Because that has been an issue before.
Yes.
Where the call sheet was sent and they received it, they don't know how to read it.
And they'll say that. I don't know how to read this. Can you? Huh?
Right.
Excuse me? I thought you said you was an actor.
Right.
It's part of the job. It's part of the job.
Yeah. So learn how to read a call sheet if you've never received one before or whatever, or you was just faking it till you make it. Just learn how to read one so you know where you need to be, what you need to be prepared for, and what you need to do.
Yes.
It's all on there. So you definitely got to do that. But outside of call sheets, so we talked about call sheets. Punctuality. What
you got? Because I got one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just saying about the professionalism part of knowing how to do your job.
Yeah.
The skill sets to do your job.
All right, so hold that one because I'm going to go to mine because it's going to be briefer.
Okay, go ahead.
Keep your ass sober on set.
Oh, Yo, it's crazy that something has to be mentioned, but that is so
Keep
true.
your ass sober on set.
Do not show up to set, to a film environment high, drunk, any of that. No paraphernalia.
Yes. So
on set, please.
We've had sets in the past, like Christmas Bay, where we could tell that some alcohol had been flowing. Maybe a little something else. However, it didn't deter from the performance of those actors. That don't make it right, though.
Right.
But Rent Bay. Oh, it deterred from the performance.
But that's the thing, like, you know yourself. You know if you're high, if you've been drinking, how you are. Right. Like, and that just was
and you're being paid to do a job. That makes it work. That means you're at work. So don't drink on the job.
It's
like,
so
why do I have to say that?
Like, it's to a point now we got to put it in the contract.
Like,
we got to put in the contract about just that type of stuff, because it's crazy because we're adults, right? And we should, when we're going to talk about this, governing ourselves.
Yes.
And we should govern ourselves as adults to not do, or to know not to do certain things.
Yes.
But it's a shame that we really have to put it out in plain English. Like, you cannot come to set high or drunk, nor while you're on set, on the clock and working, you cannot get high or get drunk. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. And this, because you
no bumps in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, you mentioned on set, right? Mm-hmm. You come into set. If you off the clock, once that
but
call
you're still
time is
on
done,
production, though.
So here's
you still got to be cautious.
So you have to govern yourself. So this is two sides to this, right? Where I'm about to go, right? Kyrie don't care what you do when you clock out, even if you got to be there the next morning, right? I don't care what you do. I'm not your daddy. Right. I'm not your partner. I'm none of those things. So if you do want to go do a bump in the bathroom, like Dom talking about, that might be her twist. I don't know. If that's what you get into, that's what you get into. As long as your ass is back on set the next call time that you're required,
ready to go,
and you ready to go, you got your wits about you. I don't care what you did when you was off. Right. Dom might feel a little bit different, but my thing is, govern thyself. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to know, I need this many hours of sleep or I'm going to be unfunctional. I bet not take a bump or I'm going to be bumping all through the set. Hangovers are bad for me. I might not wake up.
Right.
You know, my drunkenness lasts a little while. I don't know what goes on with you, but you supposed to know what goes on with you.
And that's the point.
So on set, like, that's just crazy. Like you doing that type of stuff on set, like we not tolerating that. That's definitely going in our contracts moving forward. And again, we indie filmmakers, so we just learned our lesson. We learned our lesson the hard way. That's going in our contract moving forward, that you cannot use drugs or alcohol during our damn production. What you do off the clock is on you. But just don't bring me the excuse that your own behavior is why you're now late, unprofessional, unproductive, sleep, whatever it might be. Yeah. That's not on me.
Yeah, like, I get when you off the clock, that's your time. But me personally, I feel when you're on production, so if you're being hired for a job and you're filming X amount of days, what you do off the clock does affect what happens when you're on the clock. So govern yourself accordingly in those moments, so that way you can give your best performance. Or if you're on crew, that you have the sharpest mind to do your job. Like know yourself enough to know, like you say, I can't be drinking because it lasts a while. I always get hangovers. You got a job to do.
Right.
So
the job has to be paramount. It has to be. The number one thing is, how am I going to show up for this job? Because like you mentioned, filmmaking is a team sport.
Yes.
So, you know, we all know, you know, a great football team or basketball team ain't the same without their star player.
Right.
You know, it's still the same team, but that critical element that's off their game is really going to show in the final product. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And I think to that point, like I mentioned before, Focus Studios is we're interested most in what that final frame looks like. When
Yes.
it goes up in the theater or on your TV screen, we want to pour our all into getting that picture right. Right. And I don't mean that just from a how it looks standpoint, but I mean how it was acted, how it was lit, the sound, all of those types of things. We're trying to get you the best picture possible. That being said, we know full well, you know, the wrong energy, the somebody was late, the you know, the food wasn't good or on time, or we keep feeding people pizza. You know, the director is being bothered with all types of other things that are underneath, you know, where his mind should be, his or her mind should be, because they have to focus on creativity, right? A good team is a team that supports a director in a way that all of the BS that's just going to happen because you're doing a film is going to happen. But if you're doing your job like you're supposed to, it got to be a 8 alarm blaze to make it up to the top where the director is. And that leaves the director's mind free to just be thinking like, all right, let's do this. Let's get that. Let's do that. Try this again. You're not thinking about nothing else. And I'm saying all of this to help filmmakers understand that all of these things matter.
They all matter.
They all matter. They have to be able to be a well-oiled machine that makes for the best picture possible.
Right. Yeah. And you said a lot in that. You talking about the food and the production,
The morale, the energy.
morale, the energy, and that's huge too. Like being professional, I feel like that energy thing ties into that being professional, because you gotta be somebody that people want to work with.
Yes.
100%. like you gotta be a team player when you're making movies, and it can't be all about you, whatever's accommodating for you and stuff like that, and you just the ultimate diva, and now nobody want to work with you. You're bringing the morale to set down, and you're just making things difficult.
Yes.
Be realistic with your expectations on what you're going to have on each set that you're on. If you know you're not dealing with a major budget and all that, don't be coming with big budget things that you require, because you know that the budget can't hold it.
And stay there for a minute, because professionalism also is, when we talk about governing yourself, it's about understanding, it's about being self-aware, right? And it's about understanding this point that I'm going to make. The filmmaking industry, as big as it is still small.
Very small.
And then city to city, the indie filmmaking industry is tiny. Even in Philadelphia, everybody works with everybody. I'm sure in Detroit, everybody works with everybody. Atlanta, everybody works with everybody. So
and now everybody working with everybody in different states.
Exactly. Exactly. So the point that I'm making is calls go out.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody that I've ever worked with, I get calls about.
I do too.
From my folks that's like, yo, we looking at, you know, possibly working with so. I've put calls out.
Yeah.
If I've seen you work with some of my folks, I'm like, yo, how is he or she on set? You know what I'm saying? So this one is for my actors, right? And crew.
And crew.
Actors and crew. I'm going to speak for Focus Studios. Energy is paramount here. How dope are you to work with?
Right.
It's number one here. That's what we're looking for, number one. Then your talent second. We not inviting nobody that's going to bring down the morale of our set.
Absolutely not. You're on set for 12 plus hours. Nobody wants to be around somebody that
7, 10, 15 days.
Energy is trash. Like,
you won't want to come back to work. Like all of our sets, people, and I'll say with the exception of Money Lovers, but not because of energy. Every other set that we've worked on, people ain't want to stop.
Right.
Just one more day. I'm gonna miss y'all. And that's because of the culture that Focus Studios creates. We have high energy, high morale, high expectations still.
Yes.
Right? But when people see everybody else ripping and running, moving, doing their job, it makes them want to raise their game.
Yep.
Right? We talked about that last episode with Rayleigh and how she raised her game, right? You gotta govern yourself in a way that you understand, like, every job you take is your audition for your next job.
Absolutely. I think that's huge.
People talk.
People do talk, and people don't understand in referrals. Like, I work on a bunch of different sets. I get on a bunch of different sets because I show up on all the sets that I do work on, and I'm professional and I do my job. And what that leads to is somebody else that I might have worked with is on another set, and they say, "Hey, we need an AD. Hey, I got one for you."
Yep.
That's literally how that goes. And if you that person that you don't realize that, and you think, "Oh, I just was acting this way on that set because of this, and I'm acting." No, no.
No, that's a fact. And you know, I can vouch for that with Dom. Like, Dom is super dope just as a person. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the first thing that people think about. Like, I gotta spend time with this person. Is they a dope person?
Right.
Your job comes second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a close second. I'm not gonna say it don't matter. Your job, can you do your job? Definitely matters. But people are going to, unless they assholes themselves, right, and they just know they are asshole, they're going to want to make sure that you're going to be fun to work with and you're going to do your job.
You got to be super excellent at your job.
Super duper.
For someone to work with you and you're not a pleasant person to work with. You got to be super, like, you got to be doing something that you probably one of the only ones in the area that can really do it. For someone to really tolerate working with you.
You got to be Taraji L. Washington.
Right. Like, you got to be somebody, so, like, you got to do your job or be doing something so dope where it's just like, we got to hire this person. And we'll just bear through it. But for the most part...
And there's no exception. There's no excuse for that.
There's no excuse for that. But for someone to overlook that about you, like, you got to be like, well, we need them. Yeah. We don't need anything else we could do about it. But other than that, I can't tell you how many countless phone calls and conversations I've had with people on multiple sets where it's like, how is this person to work with? And people just like, we got to be cool. I mean, and it could be a situation where it's like, you know, I don't really like you like that, but I can work with you. I'm gonna be cordial. I could be cordial.
Because that's professional in itself.
That's professional.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, we ain't got to be besties. We ain't got to be buddy. But it's just that I'm able to say, you know what? You're not really my flavor, but professionally, we gonna get this job done.
And even that leans me into, like, relationships.
Yeah.
Right. Relationships on set, personal and male, female, female, male, 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 whatever, intimate relationships. Whew. Right?
That's a whole...
So I know we ain't got enough time on this episode. We gonna probably have to have a part 2 and go into sex on set.
Sex on set, baby.
We're gonna have to go into
sexual situations on set.
Yeah.
No Diddy.
Yeah, for sure. And sexual governance.
Yes.
Right? Attraction governance.
Yes.
Because we work in an industry with beautiful people. Look at Dom. Look at Dom over here. Ain't she cute? Look at Dom. She look good. You know what I'm saying? But this just my work wife. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Work husband.
Right? I mean, we ain't doing nothing outside of these confines of these walls. You know what I'm saying? But in film, it's gonna be so many opportunities.
Access. There's a lot of access.
Access and opportunity to do something crazy.
Right.
Go off the deep end. Do something that you can't bring back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I am at a level where I'm educated enough to understand, like, I love me some Dom. I love Dom to death. She's a gorgeous woman, but she's too valuable. She's too valuable for me to shit where I eat, and now I can't eat no more. I got to find some new way to eat. It just is. It's like,
and that's being professional.
That's being professional. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, we gotta do a whole.
That's going to be an open.
We could do a part 2
because that's super important topic.
Super duper important.
Super important. But anything other than professional?
I don't know what you got. You got one before we get out of here? You got one more?
I'm just I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
So my thing is being professional is when I mentioned earlier about being prepared to do the job that you were hired to do. that is a pet peeve of mine, because I feel like in the independent space, a lot of people just think they could just do whatever they want because they want to do it. And that's cool, that's cool. But my thing is, like, educate yourself, do the work, train yourself, be a student of the craft, and really come with a level of expertise in that job that you're getting hired to do.
Right.
And just bring that to the table and spend more time on that versus I'm outside, I'm on set life,
right.
life. Like,
People love to post that.
You want to post that, but it's like,
doing your job.
Are you doing your job?
And that's it. It's only so long fake thugs can pretend.
Right.
On set, you gonna get sniffed out. You know what I'm saying? And the same goes for crew. You are always auditioning for your next job.
Exactly.
So if you're not the shit at your job, like, filmmaking is one of those. It might be the only. Well, no, because you could be president, and I had no good experience, so it's not the only genre. But it's one of the only places where the only thing that matters is, can you do the job? You don't need no resume. You don't need no reel. You don't. And I'm not saying that you don't need one. You need one.
You need one.
But I'm saying, if you come to a set and you save the director, the producers time or money, you a pleasure to work with, and you talented, because somebody can act for the first time and just jump off the fucking screen. Right.
Natural talent.
It's one of the few industries that can happen. You can't go just make a restaurant for the first time and just cook for the first time.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Make some clothes for the first time. Like, that's not going to happen. But some people can jump on set and at least be good enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do that on crew. You gotta learn your discipline on crew.
Some people jump in the director's seat. They ain't never directed before.
You can't do it. You can't.
They do.
And the director's part of crew. I know they do.
They do.
But you can't. You're not supposed to do that.
No.
So yes, to Dom's point, the part of the professionalism is, have you studied your craft?
Yes.
Can you do this with some expertise? Because if you come on anybody's set, indie or studio, and you ain't doing your job, your ass is out of there. You're going to be replaced. And when people call and they ask about you, they're going to say, "Yeah, I hired them to DP my project, but they barely knew their way around a camera. I don't know how much they learn now, but when I hired them, they barely knew what they was doing."
And that's crazy. And real quick before we end this episode,
because we got to talk about sex.
I know, because we're gonna get to the sex. But speaking of, like, can they do their job and stuff like that? But in the over scheme of being professional, it doesn't matter what the budget is. You still have to be professional.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, when I AD, I don't care if I'm working for points. I don't care if it's minimum money or I'm doing a favor. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be the same AD no matter what. Because, like you say, I'm auditioning for my next job.
Yep.
If I come and I half-ass my job because, like, they ain't really paying me that much, but I accepted on those terms.
Once you accept the terms.
I accepted the terms. So it's like, but if I come and say, well, they ain't paid for this AD, I'm going to give you this one. That could be messing me up for a whole bunch of work in the future. So the money should have no bearing on your level of professionalism that you bring to a set. And
this the last thing I'll say, because it leans into what you're saying and what we already said. The energy and the are you dope to work with times how much you're talented matters so much in our industry. Because as soon as you half-ass, you don't know that director or producers you just worked with or that actor that you were in the picture with, they might be the next one.
Right.
Like tomorrow, they might drop a project and tomorrow they up. And guess what? They're going to have more work. Who they going to hit up? Yo, we need an AD. Yo, I work with this talented AD. Her name's Dominique Janelle. Give her a call. She would bring some light to this project. Right?
Right.
Or it could go, I need an AD. You know any ADs? They just worked with Dom, but she was half-assing. And what they gonna say? I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing.
You gotta find one.
I don't know.
And that's just how it go.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But Dom be on her job, though. They ain't gonna say that about Dom. All right, we're gonna do a part 2
Yeah, because we
On,
got to get into this whole sexual stuff.
That's a whole
on
animal in itself.
Yeah, we got to get to that and I think it's very important, especially in light of all the stuff that's been coming out. I feel like it's very important.
Oh, you talking about Diddy? She talking about Diddy. But anyway,
and everybody else.
I'm Kyrie Terrell, man. It's been a great Flix Flex.
I'm Dominique Janelle. You can find me on Dominique.Janelle on all social media platforms.
I'm Kyrie Terrell on everything. And tell us, do y'all want some film gear? Do y'all want some?
You want?
We out.